This poor man can have her, it's no loss to me. In fact, this is the kind of person she should get married to. So she accepted. Once upon a time in a distant village called Nweke, there lived a kind-hearted man named Chidi. Chidi had 2 wives. His first wife was Amoka and the second wife was Adan. Amoka was a very gentle and kind woman. She was loved by everyone. She had a beautiful daughter named Ngozi. 8 years have passed since she had Ngozi. Kids were no longer coming. She could no more have children, which saddened her deeply. Because of this, Chidi's family made trouble with Amoka, urging Chidi to marry his second wife, which he bluntly refused. One day, Mama Chidi came to visit them in their house in Akoka town where Chidi and his wife lived. Amoka was very happy to see her mother-in-law since she had not seen her for a while. "Oh, Mama, you're welcome. How was your trip?" she happily asked her as she tried to take her luggage from her. "I will be fine when you give my son children. I want grandchildren, not a grandchild. What if anything happens to her? I'll be left with none. Please don't ask me if I'm fine. You know I'm not fine and I won't be until you give me more grandchildren." After dropping her mother-in-law's luggage, she went straight to her room and cried. All through her stay in the house, Mama Chidi refused to talk to Amoka or eat anything she prepared. Chidi's mother urged him to marry a second wife, hoping for more grandchildren. "Mama, I love my wife so much and God has blessed us with a beautiful, intelligent and hardworking daughter and she's enough." "Enough? What is enough? Enough for where? She's not. We want more grandchildren. We want a full house. We know she's everything you've mentioned and we love her, but we want more to be on a safer side." When the pressure became too much, Amoka pleaded with her husband to get a second wife. Chidi refused, but when she kept begging, he had to listen to her. So Chidi married Adan, who seemed nice at first but soon showed her true colors. Adan was not kind like Amoka. She had 2 daughters, Chioma and Ofoma, and 2 sons, Obaina and Uche, for Chidi. Unlike Ngozi, Adan's children were not kind and often behaved badly, just like their mother who always caused a lot of trouble in the house. Sometimes Chidi would travel with his lovely wife Amoka to a neighboring town to have a quiet time with his wife just so they could rest from Adan's troubles. One day, while returning from a friend's wedding at his hometown, Nweke, the car was involved in a ghastly accident. Both Chidi and Amoka died. This saddened Ngozi's heart as she was lonely and alone. Tears became her daily bread. One day, while she was crying, Adam walked up to her and said, "You better stand up from here and do something useful with your life. Do you think your tears will bring them back? You better go and wash the dishes and prepare food for me and my children to eat." With Amoka and Chidi gone, Adam became very cruel to Ngozi. She made Ngozi do all the house chores and would not let her rest, and oftentimes she would not give her food till evening. So she continued to suffer in the hands of her stepmother. She became a maid in her own father's house. Each time Mama Chidi came visiting, Adam pretended as though she had been very nice to Ngozi and she never allowed her to visit Mama Chidi, their grandmother. As Ngozi grew up, many young men came to ask for her hand in marriage because she was not only beautiful but also had a good heart. But Adan chased them away, saying all manner of awful things about her to scare them away, always saying her daughters were better suited for marriage. One day, while Ngozi went on an errand for her stepmother, she mistakenly kicked a stone and fell down. A poor-looking handsome young man helped her up. His name was Emeka. Emeka was dressed in old clothes and looked very poor. They both exchanged pleasantries. He saw her off to where she was going, walked her to her house, and left. "I think I like her," he said to himself, smiling. "I will just make her my friend and watch her carefully. And I will make some findings to know who she really is." Emeka was just a common bread seller that sells bread by the roadside. After making his findings, he concluded that he was going to marry her. Since her stepmother doesn't accept good-looking and wealthy men to marry her, then she will accept a poor bread seller like me. Perfect, he said. So he became her friend. Sometimes he would go visit her and vice versa. Adan never complained about Emeka because she felt he was the kind of person she needed, a very poor man. So she was happy each time she saw the both of them together. One day, a man who had been talking to Ngozi about marriage came to ask for her hand in marriage. She was happy. He was a good man and she was going to accept his proposal. But when Adan realized that if she doesn't do something, the marriage might work out, she came up with an evil plan with her children. Adan asked Ngozi to prepare food for her in-laws. When the food was ready, Adan added a lot of salt and pepper to the food. When it was time to serve the food, Ngozi served the food. Should I continue this story? Tell me in the comments. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm afraid you might not see me again. So hit the subscribe button now for more interesting stories. Thank you.